The rumors started quietly at first, whispers of on-set battles, drastic script rewrites, and personal vendettas brewing behind the scenes. Yet nothing prepared fans and industry insiders for the full extent of the chaos that would erupt around the film It Ends With Us. Originally hailed as a faithful adaptation of a beloved novel about heartbreak and resilience. Now, allegations of harassment, defamation lawsuits, and even potential jail time loom over what should have been a triumphant cinematic achievement. How did it all spiral into this unrelenting storm of scandal? And are the stories swirling around Hollywood's golden couple and a revered director actually worse than anyone imagined? From the outset, It Ends With Us promised to be a game changer for all involved. The novel, known for its harrowing depiction of domestic turmoil, resonates deeply with readers who connect with its raw humanity. Early rumors pegged Justin Baldoni, known for his heartfelt approach, as the ideal director and producer to bring those delicate themes to the screen. Blake Lively, a longtime red carpet icon with a knack for endearing audiences, was tapped to star, but cracks formed even before the cameras rolled. While Baldoni reportedly envisioned a dark, emotionally authentic adaptation, Lively allegedly had other ideas. Industry chatter hinted she wanted a more mainstream flair, complete with comedic beats and polished glam that risked watering down the story's impact. Though creative disagreements are part and parcel of filmmaking, few believed it would escalate beyond standard Hollywood friction. Insiders, however, noticed tension brewing almost immediately. Lively's camp suggested that the script needed levity to appeal to a broader audience, a stance fiercely opposed by Baldoni's team. Word leaked that he felt comedic punchlines would trivialize the narrative's portrayal of harrowing personal struggles. That left fans torn. Some felt Lively's approach could make the film more accessible, while others worried it would betray the heart of the novel. Those concerns ballooned when behind-the-scenes murmurs surfaced, describing tense production meetings. Allegedly, heated debates over costume choices, set designs, and even music cues became daily occurrences. Then came allegations that Lively's unwavering sense of star power clashed with Baldoni's desire to keep the spotlight on the novel's message rather than any particular celebrity. Yet in those early days, few predicted just how far this rift would grow. Some brushed it off as normal tension in a big-budget film adaptation. Others had a hunch that the real battle for control was about to erupt in front of millions. And they were right. Behind closed doors, new allegations painted an even darker power struggle. According to certain leaked text messages, whose authenticity is still under debate, Lively referred to herself as a mother of dragons, drawing a parallel to the iron-willed matriarch from the popular fantasy series. She supposedly alluded to her dragons as Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift, both formidable pop culture icons with massive influence. The text suggested that if Baldoni refused to align with Lively's vision, she would unleash these powerful allies. Whether that means leveraging their social media might or orchestrating a PR campaign is unclear. What's undeniable is that these messages, if genuine, highlight how personal this rivalry had become. Lively wasn't just an actress for hire, she was allegedly someone determined to wrest creative control at any cost. The director's camp, for its part, insists that he was simply trying to protect the integrity of the source material. Baldoni's supporters argue he had every right to maintain a dark, heartfelt tone for a story tackling domestic hardship. Still, when an A-list star hints at having high-powered connections ready to shift public opinion in her favor, lines are drawn. Speculation runs wild about what exactly Reynolds' or Swift's involvement would look like. Could it be a wave of subtle social media endorsements painting Baldoni as difficult to work with? Might they tip off entertainment columnists to write slanted pieces? Observers say it's not surprising if the star's close-knit celebrity circle might have been leveraged as a strategic advantage. In any case, the rumor that Lively threatened to set her dragons on Baldoni turned a simmering conflict into a full-blown headline magnet. It became a question of whose willpower would prevail, the director defending an emotionally charged story or an actress determined to shape the final product in her own image. As filming progressed, it seemed no one could contain the animosity. Reports surfaced of Blake Lively publicly sharing concerns about feeling shut out of key creative decisions. Baldoni, on the other hand, was allegedly forced into the basement, yes, a basement, at the premiere of his own movie. Whether that detail is perfectly literal or more figurative, it symbolizes the sense that Lively's team had maneuvered him to the sidelines. Whispers hinted that the friction escalated in Manhattan penthouses, where Ryan Reynolds was said to have used his comedic wit to belittle Baldoni's vision, leaving studio representatives in shock. Some claim that Lively's approach to painting Baldoni as an unyielding dictator spread to entertainment tabloids, warping public perception before the film had a chance to stand on its own merits. Industry vets note that negative press can be orchestrated easily when someone has the right connections. Once the first rumor drops, like a rehash of an alleged meltdown or a claim that the director was bullying the talent, other outlets tend to echo that story, building momentum. If Lively truly had dragons in her corner, it wouldn't take much to sway public opinion. By the time the official trailers and promotional teasers rolled out, the narrative was already tarnished by swirling controversies. Fans who had hoped to see a faithful, heart-wrenching version of It Ends With Us were bombarded by scandalous headlines about the star and director feuding. Some debated boycotting the film outright, feeling it disrespected the serious subject matter. Others wanted to separate the drama from the art and see how the adaptation fared on its own. Yet that was only part of the story. As the tension boiled over, both Lively and Baldoni took increasingly defensive stances. Legal threats simmered below the surface, turning what was once a standard creative clash into a personal vendetta with colossal stakes. When the film finally hit theaters, public reception was overshadowed by hype about behind-the-scenes chaos. Instead of focusing on the movie's portrayal of domestic issues, a delicate theme requiring thoughtful treatment, viewers found themselves dissecting the stilted humor, the misplaced glamour, and the swirl of rumors about sabotage. Critics, too, seized on the messy blend of comedic asides and raw emotional moments. Many pointed out that fans of the original book would find the adaptation unrecognizable. Some labeled it tonally disjointed, while others found the comedic elements jarring in the context of domestic trauma. With scathing reviews piling up, the commercial fallout was immediate. Ticket sales plummeted after opening weekend, and even the film's marketing team seemed at a loss for how to pivot. Baldoni's defenders blamed the star's meddling for watering down an inherently serious subject. Lively's supporters, meanwhile, argue the final product was compromised by a director who failed to see the potential for broader, more accessible storytelling. Each side points fingers, claiming the other triggered the project's collapse. The fiasco overshadowed any well-intended effort to highlight the novel's nuanced message. Audiences left theaters scratching their heads or simply didn't show up at all, spooked by the incessant controversies overshadowing the film. In short, It Ends With Us became a cautionary tale of how clashing egos and a relentless media circus can sink a production long before it has a fair shot at success. No matter how bad the box office numbers look, the real fireworks arrived when Justin Baldoni filed a defamation suit against Blake Lively. He claimed she not only spread false narratives about him being tyrannical, but also orchestrated a media blitz to ruin his reputation. He demanded a hefty sum in damages, underscoring how deeply he felt the allegations harmed his career prospects. Lively responded in kind, launching her own lawsuit that described a climate of bullying and intimidation on set. She insisted she was simply standing up for her right to creative input, and that Baldoni's suit was a diversion to keep people from uncovering his alleged misconduct. What started as a tug-of-war over comedic lines and editorial control mushroomed into an all-out legal war. Meanwhile, rumors swirled that Lively's husband, Ryan Reynolds, might get dragged into the crossfire. People speculated that he'd contributed uncredited punch-ups to the script, which could mean his comedic fingerprints are all over the scenes that critics slammed. Though he remains on the sidelines for now, some wonder if depositions or subpoenaed text messages might implicate him or reveal more unflattering details. In a desperate bid to end the public feud, one party, insiders still debate which, allegedly requested a court-imposed gag order to muzzle everyone involved. The judge refused. The result? Both sides continue to volley new allegations and evidence in a spectacle playing out daily in tabloids and social media feeds. Amid this chaos, Baldoni took the extraordinary step of building a website, uploading pages of documents, text chains, and production emails meant to support his claims. If he's telling the truth, the evidence may vindicate him as a conscientious director who found himself in the crosshairs of a cunning PR campaign. If it's just spin, it could be an unprecedented tactic to publicly shame a high-profile star. Either way, the drama intensifies with each newly released file. Some controversies gain a life of their own when major news outlets pick them up. That's exactly what happened when the New York Times published a feature article that apparently leaned heavily toward Blake Lively's account, portraying Baldoni as inflexible and unwilling to collaborate. Lively's detractors cried foul, accusing the paper of ignoring evidence that might show a more complex reality. Evidence presumably included on Baldoni's new website. Naturally, this coverage triggered another wave of discourse. Those predisposed to sympathize with Lively felt validated by a reputable media outlet. Baldoni's loyalists, though, were incensed, accusing the Times of either being duped or intentionally fueling a smear campaign. In an era when public figures often bypass traditional media by releasing direct statements online, the Times piece became a flashpoint. Did the publication inadvertently deepen the divide, or was it presenting verifiable facts overlooked by Baldoni's circle? The director's team alleged that Lively's camp had private communications with the paper, shaping the narrative before Baldoni could respond. Whether or not that claim holds water, the Times story escalated an already volatile situation. Now, the public questioned not only the integrity of Hollywood players, but also the journalistic standards of a storied publication. Amid all the chaos, the film itself receded further into the background, overshadowed by an unrelenting swirl of accusations. As if an abysmal box office run and open warfare in the press weren't enough, new rumors suggested that Blake Lively might be in even bigger trouble. Possible criminal charges related to faked or doctored evidence in her legal filings. While nothing has been confirmed, the prospect sent shockwaves through fan communities and Hollywood watchers alike. If a top-tier celebrity like Lively were proven to have tampered with evidence, the ramifications could be huge, ranging from professional disgrace to actual jail time. Speculation has run wild about the seriousness of these allegations. Some say even if the claims are exaggerated, perjury or obstruction charges are no joke. Others theorize that Baldoni might use these rumors as leverage to force a settlement. For a star known for comedic wit and carefully curated social media presence, the idea of prison time, even if improbable, stokes intense public fascination. Whether it's an empty rumor or a legitimate threat remains unclear. Lively supporters bristle at the suggestion that she would risk everything by tampering with evidence, calling it a last-ditch attempt by Baldoni's side to discredit her. Meanwhile, legal experts caution that none of the players would want a criminal proceeding overshadowing an already sensationalized civil case. But the question lingers. How far is each side willing to go in this battle? Beyond Lively, rumors swirl about potential lawsuits targeting other influential figures connected to the production or the negative press. Some of Baldoni's confidants claim they're actively considering naming these individuals in future legal actions if they find evidence they contributed to defaming the director. It's a wide net that could pull in unsuspecting allies, PR strategists, judges, or even certain journalists. For a film meant to explore sensitive themes of heartbreak and resilience, It Ends With Us has become a beacon of Hollywood chaos and conflict. Lawsuits, rumored manipulation of the press, alleged comedic meddling, and talk of possible jail time have overshadowed the very story it set out to tell. Critics pan the final product as uneven and superficial, while fans of the novel mourn what could have been a resonant adaptation. Now, all eyes remain glued to each bombshell that drops. Will the lawsuits end in quiet settlements behind closed doors, leaving the public to guess what truly happened? Could these trials explode into a spectacle that dwarfs the film itself, dragging A-list celebrities, major publications, and hidden conspirators into the spotlight? Or is there still some off chance that cooler heads will prevail, forging a last-minute truce? What's undeniable is the cautionary lesson embedded in this saga. When creative visions collide and superstar egos clash, even the most promising project can go down in flames. Add in the unstoppable glare of public scrutiny and the manipulative power of carefully placed media leaks, and you get a fiasco that no one, not even Hollywood's biggest players, could fully control. Whether you think Baldoni is the principled artist maligned by a powerful PR engine, or Lively is a star fighting to have her voice heard in a stifling production, the story is far from complete. In a town where alliances shift overnight and scandal thrives, tomorrow's headline might blow everything we know right now out of the water. Until then, the once promising adaptation of It Ends With Us will be remembered as a battlefield more infamous than its on-screen drama. The questions remain. Did the Times cross a line by seemingly championing one side? Could Lively truly have tampered with evidence, risking legal jeopardy? And will the conversation about the novel's real message be drowned out entirely by feuding Hollywood heavyweights? The tension lingers and the secrets run deep. No one can say for sure how it all ends, but in a world where every leaked text, every late-night tweet, and every bombshell article sets off another round of revelations, one thing is certain: we haven't heard the final word. Thank you for joining this deep dive into one of Tinseltown's most convoluted showdowns. Until the next round of revelations emerges, consider the lessons behind the headlines: how power, perception, and personal vendettas can overshadow even the most heartfelt stories.